What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and boy oh boy, this is the big one. The goddess, the queen, Reina. I got to play her. This character we're all so curious about, like how does she play, what can she do? I thought her trailer was absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. Best newcomer in like 15 years, I would say. Seems to be Heihachi's daughter, but the trailer, everything points to it, and I've always believed the old man to be like the most charismatic and masculine Tekken character, like character in the Tekken universe. If you're gonna replace him, like, you better do a good job, and I feel like she lives up to him. She lives up to that energy, and I've always wanted to see a female character like this that has the attitude in the right way. And I feel like they nailed everything there, and I'm happy to tell you that the gameplay is also very, very interesting. And it's certainly not a clone of Heihachi, like far from it. The trailer also showed this, where it was like, it was a blend of Heihachi stuff and then waifu-style acrobatics, strings, knowledge checks, stances. And as I was trying her out, I was like, I realized she is a very interesting and unique hybrid, where I believe it's between Heihachi and Lydia. Yeah, I do think Lydia is going to get flush down the toilet. The more I saw of Reina, the more I was like, this is Lydia as well. And Lydia seemed so ambitious when they dropped her for Tekken 7. They had heavy story implications. They tied her into the Mishima Zaibatsu. She's the Polish prime minister. Kyokushin karate, very grounded martial arts, ambitious move list. But then as soon as they nerfed her, it felt like her popularity really waned. And I honestly believe they might have baked her into this, Reina. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I only spent half an hour with this character, but this is my analysis. But so, very interesting gameplay, and you'll see what I mean very soon. But again, such an amazing rage art. In my opinion, the best rage art in the game. It has so much personality and intensity to it. Bagoosh, and man, the Heihachi visual there. So slick. And there's going to be a lot to break down with this character. That's her wave dash. So yeah, she has wave dash, and you already know she has an electric, and it's just frame. It's just like a normal Mishima electric, and it actually shares Heihachi's properties. So, you know, like father, like son, like daughter, she has a Heihachi electric. Interestingly, again, just like Lydia, she has a lot of stances going back and forward, and a lot of moves where she can transition into those stances. And just like Lydia, she can do something like 1-1-2 stance into attack into stance, another stance. Chaining stances, just like Lydia. Demon paw into stance, 1-1-2 into stance, just like Lydia. But just like Heihachi has down forward 1-1, down forward 1-2, has an electric, has a wave dash to realign. And just like Heihachi, seems to have quite weak lows. But doesn't share Heihachi's power mids, like forward 3, demon uppercut. Her forward 4 is weaker. Her forward 3 out of wave dash doesn't launch. It's a heat engager. She seems to focus more on pressure and heat engagers and pressuring with different stances rather than outright launching the opponent. And then has a ton of cartwheels and acrobatics and tricky strings to catch you off guard. Very much like you would expect from a waifu. And has a strong space control, which you're gonna see this stuff, strong homing attacks. So I just want to say, very unique character, very interesting. Certainly never seen a character with an electric have all of this different shenanigans going on. So this is good, very unique. And so here, the electric. Again, when she wave dashes, unique to her, electric spark effect. Bzz, 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 when she waves. Looks really slick, really cool. Interestingly, she can press down forward 3 to do a wind god step, which is basically a crouch dash, but an easy mode. You don't do the technical crouch dash input. You just press down forward 3. And again, I don't know if there's any other distinction here other than it's easier to do. But that one doesn't have a spark effect. Is this for beginners? And then if someone's doing a legit crouch dash, you get the spark effect. I just don't know. But that was an interesting distinction. So again, and here you see, just like Heihachi's electric, it will not hit an average-sized or a smaller character low to the ground in terms of linking and chaining electrics. So this is just like Heihachi. So yeah, I was trying stuff. Thunder Godfist does not bound. Has 2 different extensions. So here I realized, like, okay, so I figured immediately it's just like Heihachi. So now I switched to King, but you can also do this on Paul, Brian, Fengwei, larger male characters. And suddenly you can link them close to the ground. See? So just like Heihachi. And this is where I got so envious. I wish my boy Kazuya still had this. Yep. Just like Kazuya in network test, she can link 4 electrics into a heat burst bound. Right, so she has a very strong heat burst bound. Juicy, big hitbox, and it's very fast. But again, it's... yeah, it gives her ridiculous combos, but only on certain characters. Right, so it's balanced in that way. She can't do these electric links on most characters, so... It's not exactly like Kazuya would do it in network test. But I love her electric, and I think she says like Heihachi Seria? God, my voice is so wrecked. Still sick, by the way. But so here I'm going to show you some electric porn. Gonna do some electric combos. I do show off 6 electrics at some point here as well. I'm gonna post that to YouTube as a separate clip if you just want to see that. Or for some people are just gonna want to see that. And how cool is Mishima Dojo, by the way? It's never looked better than here, and the track, the song is so good. Tekken 8 is not full of bangers, but this is certainly one of the better tracks, I think. A lot of people have said like, oh, main man, can't you tell it's a remix of Kazuya's Tekken 2 theme? But I don't hear that myself. So here, yeah, you're starting to see like some pretty big combos here. I'm not gonna watch too much of this as I don't want to bore you guys to death with the combos here. We're gonna look at her moveset, of course. Just gonna see, did we skip the 6 electrics? Because that's always fun to watch. There we go, 6 electrics, 71 damage. Thunder Godfist. We're gonna skip a little bit here. I had so much fun doing her combos, and this is her heat smash. 2 heat smashes, obviously. One normally like that, and one is from stance. And again, she has a lot of stances. So down forward 3 was the easy mode crouch dash, wind god step stance. And then Sentai stance is something that looks like something Lydia would do. You press forward 3, she goes forward into stance. And this is a stance she has access to from a lot of key moves, like her Demon Paw and her 1-1-2 Punish. And you're going to see some very interesting things soon with this stance. A lot of strong attacks from it. And her Demon Paw is really good. Like, Uevu, Demon Paw, comes out super quickly, obviously. If it connects on block and you go into Sentai, it's +2 on block. If it hits, you hit confirm. Oh, I hit. You go into Sentai, and you get a guaranteed Sentai free, which is a homing high that's +1 on block, heat engager. So again, you do Demon Paw. Oh, it was blocked. I take my mix-up. Oh, it hit. I hit confirm. Sentai free. 36 damage and then heat engager. Very strong Demon Paw. And then her 1-1-2 is a flash punch and strong jab range, by the way, just like her dad. Strong jab, strong down forward 1 range. Has the down forward 1-1 and down forward 1-2, which is the Chrome Dome heat engager. Both are natural combo, just like Heihachi. Chrome Dome is mid-mid and -14 on block. So very much like Heihachi. And I love the chrome dome, but it's inserted into a string. And her flash punch does 23 damage, just like Kazuya and Devil Jin's. And she can go into Sentai plus 11 on hit. Get some mix-up. So, just like Lydia. Both of those. So here I'm doing some combos again. We're gonna skip this. So again, this was recording I did at the offices, so sorry, it's a little bit all over the place. So here I tried down forward 1-1 and down forward 1-2. And you can see down forward 1-2 being minus 14 on block there. But mid, natural. 28 damage, heat engager. So very powerful option. And jab reach, as you can see here, and down forward 1, very respectable. So just like Heihachi there. And if you wondered where Kazuya's old school hell sweep went, double low, CD44, they gave it to Reina. That's why Kazuya now does low into this useless jumping high kick that serves no purpose. Reina has the double low. Gives +2 on hit, doesn't knock down. Even on counter hit, does not knock down. And it has a Hell Sweep 2, CD4-2, 28 damage, -1 on hit, but also puts the opponent far away at -1. So completely resets neutral here. They're only -1, basically neutral. They're far away from you, basically neutral, right? So you get no vortex, you get no pressure, but you get true damage. There's no recoverable health, as it didn't knock down into a launch or whatever. But so, you know, interestingly, her lows are on the weaker side, just like Heihachi. So she has a hell sweep, but is it strong? No. I would not say so, but she has a hell sweep. But it's a completely unique hell sweep. Makes me think more of Lars. Although Lars is much slower on startup, and Lars doesn't have a wave dash. So this is a very unique hell sweep. I thought most of her low options felt pretty weak, but from what I saw, again, pinch of salt. But you know, it would fit the Heihachi identity, part of her. And there you saw stance into move into stance, Lydia. But this feels so Lydia. 4-4-2, stance shenanigans. 1+2 Demon Breath, just like Heihachi's. Works on the wall. They hit the wall, electric, Demon Breath works for huge damage. 12 frame startup, -10 on block, just like Heihachi. Chunky damage. Her 4-4 is not as strong as her dad's. +2 on block. Heihachi's is +4. Don't think it did anything on crouch. And counter it knocks down into her super amazing Geta Stomp. I love that animation. Total domination here. And a huge damage, as you can see. Super cool. So here we have some more combos. Looking at the move list. Unsoku is the 4th stance, I believe. Only had 2 options, mixing a low and a mid. Kicks. So that's a Sentai move. Sentai 2. That's a safe mid, but you mix with Sentai 3, which is the +1 on block high heat engager. I mean, she has so many moves from Sentai, so plenty of mix-up opportunity there. That's back 3-4, I believe. Evasive stance. That had a couple of options. And again, tricky shenanigans. She can do that as well if she wants to. But again, it has to be stressed like a million times during this video. I did not have time to check the entire move list. So these are early first half hour first impressions. Must be stressed 50 times. Sentai free, very strong. Okay, electric combos. Oh, right. She can do triple electric into back 4. Reliably. So she can triple electric bound like that. Doesn't need a heat burst. That's pretty significant. But again, it's going to be against larger characters. But still, you know, it's significant. Very damaging combo route. And very reliable. Back 4 is safe on block. Knockdown mid. No, wait. It's a high? It is a high. Okay, my bad. But safe on block. And that's her Thunder Godfist. Has 2 options. So CD1 into either an axe kick that slams them down on the ground, or what she did in the trailer, a huge hook kick that throws them far away. And that can wall splat. Oh god, there's so many combos here. So this is a low. I think this was Damek 2-2. And again, not a super strong low. -3 on hit. Double low. And this is back to amazing space control tool. Super long range mid, +3 on hit, -9 on block. Doesn't have a counter hit property, but still, like the way you control space with this. Note the reach of this move. And again, you know, it's homing mid. Like, you can't tell me that's not a solid move. So really like this attack. Reminded me of a Lars back 1, but no counter hit property. And this move has more reach, bigger hitbox than Lars's back 1. Which is interesting because Lars is obviously another child of Heihachi's. It's just fitting that all of his kids would have an attack of that type, you know. I guess we could always fill out the roster that way. Tekken 9. Oh, Tekken 9. Oh, here's another illegitimate child of Heihachi's. So here you see the Demon Paw. +2 on block when I do Sentai. That's 1-1-2 Flash Punch into Sentai mix-up. So very strong. Guaranteed and hit confirmable. Demon Paw Sentai free. 36 damage. So again, like very strong Demon Paw. I thought. So again, not so much like Heihachi mids to launch you, but more like heat engager, stance pressure, string pressure. More that route, whereas Heihachi, her father's, was always more about, I straight up launch you, or I just counter hit launch you. So string here. Back 4 into mix-ups. This is a combo challenge, combo trial. Stonehead from Weiwu. Stands. And this is while standing 2. So this is Heihachi while standing 2. Steps to the left, just like the old man. Evasive, mid, heavy frames on hit, safe on block, just like old man's, -8 on block. Also has a counter hit property. Not a counter hit launcher, But as you will soon see, on counter hit, doesn't launch, but gives 14 frames. Where the opponent can't block. And this is where I was like, oh yeah, they gave her a perfect electric setup. This is gonna be her down for 2 perfect electric. That's why they gave her 14 frames here, where the opponent can't block. But the opponent is recovering crouching, so you can't electric here. Any high you do goes over their head. So this is where they want you to do down for 1-2 into heat engager. So down for 1 chrome dome heat engager. It's a shame. I would have wanted a perfect electric here. Would have been so slick. So here I do Demon Breath, but I should be doing down for 1-2 to show what that looks like. Oh, there it was. Okay. There we go. 43 damage. So that's a very strong option. So the while setting 2 is really good. Not as strong as Heihachi's, but still very solid. And this is so interesting. She has like waifu style down forward 2. You know, the type of pretty long range launching crouchers down forward 2 that comes out at 15 frames and is minus 12 on block. So it's very interesting. Like Mishimas tend to not have a type of attack. So it just shows you how different she is. And it might sound like, oh, that's not a big deal. She has an electric. I mean, down for 2s are usually good for whiff punish. Who cares? She has electric, which is faster if you execute it properly. But there's a crucial distinction here, or 2 of them, that electrics can be unreliable due to the mechanical skill involved. A down for 2 you'll always nail. That's baby execution. But also, if your opponent does an attack that's recovering in crouching position, which is quite a lot of attacks, and especially attacks people use to initiate on you, often sliding attacks or, you know, moves where they crouch, an electric will always get beaten by that because it doesn't hit crouching opponents. It's high. So that's why that down for 2 is actually quite a blessing. Strong whiff punish. You'll be able to beat all of those moves. So for whiff punish, she has an electric, but she also has a down for 2. Waifu style down for 2. I thought that was very interesting. And again, as you see here, minus 12 on block. Demon post off. God, my goddamn throat is killing me. Yeah, and here I'm trying. I think I get one attempt where the electric just goes over King's head. Here they're blocked. There you see. I did a pretty quick one. Goes over his head. So that's when you sort of realize, like, okay, this is not gonna work. A throw goes over the head as well. It's a really cool string. I think this was upward 3-1. High mid, but it's only minus 5 on block. Natural. Geesh, geesh. And of course, beats lows. Evades lows due to the jumping nature. So low crushes. That's pretty cool. Would have been better to have it mid-mid. But still, it's a pretty cool string, I think. Forward 3, heat engager. Let's see, even more electric combos. So many electrics. Down 2 is a counter hit mid. It knocks down for a guaranteed follow-up. And it's neutral. Neutral on block. 15 frame startup. So it's not a bad move. It's quite a lot of damage on counter it. And then she had so many like cartwheel shenanigans, kick strings that I didn't pay much attention to. And I believe that was it for the time I spent with Lady Reina. But so in short, seems like a hybrid of Heihachi and Lydia. Made me think of both of those characters. And also made me think of a hybrid of a waifu knowledge check, stance heavy pressure string gimmicks, and a more fundamental approach. Very, very unique character. And just like Heihachi seems to struggle a bit with lows. Lows are not very strong. But unlike Heihachi, doesn't thrive on launching you with counter hits or mid launchers, but more so leaves you standing into pressure frames, into strings, and into stance mix-ups. And has an electric, and has waifu pressure. So yeah, I can't stress enough how she seems very unique and how we're going to need a lot of time with this character. So again, I want to stress that this is a very early first impressions of her. So we'll see how this plays out when we have more time with her. But I hope you enjoyed this first little glance at her at least, and that, you know, it satisfied some curiosity. But so, yeah, she seems awesome. Can't wait to play her more. Really cool character. Awesome job to Bandai Namco. Coolest newcomer in such a long time. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. And see you on the next video. Take care.